everyone. Thank you so much. So look at each other. That's maybe a good start before we do the lesson. Look at each other. What do you see? Really important today. What am I seeing? Well, look at that. It's starting to look better. Wow. Wow, thank you, Karen. Karen, wonderful to see you too. Oh, thank you. So really take a good look at each other before we start doing the lesson of this day. And you already know maybe the title, so then it's obvious what's going to happen. But anyway, I'm going to share with you the lesson of today. And so here you have it. I choose to see my brother's sinlessness today, as in every day. This is a really good moment to just become still. What are you going to experience when your mind is so busy? Nothing. Or your mind is so occupied with something. What is going to happen? Nothing. It is like it's blocking your sight. So today you can relax in this. In this moment you can relax, you can leave it all behind for just a second. Just during this meditation. So it's good to breathe and take some time before we even start reading this. That's really part of the discipline now, isn't it? This has everything to do with you. It has not to do with anyone else. This is your time to be still. This is your closet. It's your tabernacle. So when we quiet our thoughts down, our concepts down, concerns, we enter into a huge field. A huge field of consciousness. See, if nothing wants to differentiate or separate itself from that, if nothing wants to defend itself, then you flow into this like infinite field of consciousness. And that's happening right now. So just allow yourself to move through that, to let that happen, to open your consciousness and flow straight into this field of consciousness that has no limits, no location, only in beautiful intensity of energy. That is what your life is. Not for any other reason than to be here now, to be present. See, if I don't have a history, then we can start with this lesson. I choose to see my brother's sinlessness. I choose to see my brother's sinlessness. Forgiveness is a choice. I never see my brother as he is, for that is far beyond perception. What I see in him is merely what I wish to see, because it stands for what I want to be the truth. It is to this alone that I respond, however much I seem to be impelled by outside happenings. I choose to see what I would look upon, and this I see, and only this. My brother's sinlessness shows me that I would look upon my own, and I will see it, having chosen to behold my brother in its holy light. Forgiveness is a choice. I never see my brother as he is, for that is far beyond perception. What I see in him is merely what I wish to see, because it stands for what I want to be the truth. It is to this that alone that I respond. What I want to be the truth, it is to this alone that I respond, however much I seem to be impelled by outside happenings. I choose to see what I would look upon, and this I see, and only this. My brother's sinlessness shows me that I would look upon my own, and I will see it, having chosen to behold my brother in its holy light. What could restore your memory to me, except to see my brother's sinlessness? What could restore your memory to me, except to see my brother's sinlessness? His holiness reminds me that he was created one with me, and like myself, in him I find myself, and in your Son I find the memory of you as well. What could restore your memory to me, except to see my brother's sinlessness? His holiness reminds me that he was created one with me, and like myself. In him I find myself, and in your Son I find the memory of you as well. So, thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Thank you. So we're quieting down. That's really wonderful. That's great. Thank you. See, the thing with perception is that you never see what is actually there. So this counts for you looking at your brother. That's why I said in the beginning, you look at each other. But see, what you perceive with your eyes is not what it is there, what is there. So the loveliness that you might feel for your brother is actually what you're seeing, or however that is at that point. So what I try to say here is this: is like the to go beyond the perception is not something that is like abstract or anything. It's like, no, actually you start to open your eyes if you look beyond perception. And it's like everything is determined by your awareness of it, of the situation. If you think that your brother is who you see him or her, then you see that is changing, that is within a limited perspective, you could say. It is whatever you experience is still within the limitation of yourself. So going beyond that in your awareness, going beyond that, suddenly you open up a whole new way to look at what is occurring. And you sense it in a different way. Like you don't use your 5 senses, but you certainly have a possibility to sense, to be open, to be receptive for what is presented to you. And that is much more full and overwhelming than what you do with your eyes, like or with your 5 senses. So this is giving you so much more information, you could say, or so much more connection, because that is part of this, of the awareness that you're in at that point. So the awareness of you is determining what you're actually going to see. Now that is something else. We're going to practice with that later on. But now I want to bring in a couple of expressions to deepen the focus, or to open up the field of this. I'm looking at things in terms of fields today. That's why I mentioned this too. It's like it is just what you activate in your consciousness. That is the light in which you see. You notice from your holiness, it's like if you are in a holy instant, you are seeing that way. You can actually perceive that way. When you look with, say, true perception, with your recognition of your connectedness with each and every one, you see a totally different world than the one that you see with your eyes. Now that's a fascinating idea, of course, but it's also referring to the truth of you. Like there's no need to fall back into limitation in this. Now we've seen that before too. It's like you open up the idea of a holy instant, and in fact you can stay right there. You don't necessarily have to go back into limitation, no matter what you seem to be doing here. So that's of course the integration of this, in the sense of constant release of what you see with your 5 senses, or sense with your 5 senses. The continual release. No, that isn't it. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. But I'm open and connecting with, say, with a field of consciousness that's beyond the 5 senses. It is like you open up your quantum tele cave, or what, like your dish, your receptor, your hub, your iwi hub. You open up your iwi hub, and suddenly you can see beyond the form. You can see beyond the human laws. Suddenly you can see beyond any kind of law that you have obeyed to before. It's a beautiful way to say, to start to learn to sense in a different way, because like the real world you sense in a different way. Obviously it doesn't have forms, it doesn't have shapes, but it does have that which you recognize to be true, and that's what is reflected. It is still like it's a counted dream, is what it says in the Course. It's a counted dream. The real world is a counted dream, because it will not be the end of this, but it's like, no, you still, there's still more, but this is at least a reflection of your celestial origin, and that makes this great to practice with, to say the least. But it's like you're being prepared to enter into that field of consciousness that is within you, of course, like everything is within you. Now, up to this point, you might have, say, cooled down the frequency of that awareness field into even a solid form that you think that is what you are. But that's of course just an idea. Like if there's anything limited, it would be the human body. Like it's very limited in its location, for instance. Like it can never represent you. But in your idea about yourself, it can represent you. That's why you see it like that. So this is what is meant in this lesson too. You literally see what you want to see. You believe this to be you within the laws and within the the laws and the restrictions that you have given it, and you believe that to be your reality. You cannot think outside of that until you let go of this. I say that becomes very like concrete in that sense. You literally want to see this, and that's why you see it. Now you can imagine that if you open up your consciousness, letting go of these limitations, that you don't know exactly what to expect. But that doesn't mean that it isn't real what you're going to experience. No, it's the opposite way. It's like it's becoming real what you are experiencing when you let go of your own limitation. And then what opens up is literally unlimited. So that means that a solid form that you have recognized yourself to be for a moment completely changes or shifts into a whole different frequency pattern and into a whole different awareness field, you could say, where everything is reorganized. Literally everything is redone, is losing its solid frequency. We call this like a shift into invisibility, like the miracle, a shift into invisibility, absence of the body. Why is the body absent? Because you're going into a higher field of awareness where you actually experience yourself as light and love and spirit, which is what you are. So that has an effect. That has an effect when you come back into this belief of a density that you call your body, thinking that that's you, objectify it as saying like, identify with it, like that is me. Then you see that your body has changed. That there has been a readjustment. It is changing. It is not solid. It is not fixed in whatever happened to it before. Like now it is like in a reset state of itself. It comes back into a higher pitch of frequency. Now that is say that's interesting in that sense. It's interesting, but also it's like you literally get exactly what you want. So, and that puts the power or the responsibility right in your lap. Like, what is it that you want to experience? And to choose for a limited perspective is, of course, limited. There's more. Now we open up our consciousness for something else, for the miracle, however you want to call it, for all possibilities, not determined by myself with my own limited ideas, because then I get the same result in a limited perspective. No, this goes way beyond that. It is opening up to let it literally come to me the way that it is given by this knowing, by this consciousness that I am. In fact, I align my will with the will of God and see what that means in my direct expression of myself. In the blessed instant, so that's this instant, if you let that be, in the blessed instant, you will let go all your past learning. And the Holy Spirit will quickly offer you the whole lesson of peace. What can take time when all the obstacles to learning it have been removed? When you open up your consciousness completely, what happens? In the blessed instant, you will let go all your past learning. Like in that instant, you forget about it all. And the Holy Spirit will quickly offer you the whole lesson of peace. What can take time when all the obstacles to learning it have been removed? Truth is so far beyond time that all of it happens at once. For as it was created one, so its oneness depends not on time at all. Truth is so far beyond time that all of it happens at once. That's mind-blowing, isn't it? like truth is so far beyond time that all of it happens at once. For as it was created one, so its oneness depends not on time at all. Be not concerned with time, and fear not the instant of holiness, which will remove all fear. For the instant of peace is eternal, because it is holy without fear. It will come, being the lesson God gives you through the teacher He has appointed to translate time to eternity. So this relieves you of a burden that you could think like, well, it's so difficult, I have no idea how to do any of this. Like, no, that's great. Don't be concerned with that. Don't be concerned with time. And fear not the instant of holiness, which will remove all fear. For the instant of peace is eternal, because it is holy without fear. It will come, being the lesson God gives you through the teacher He has appointed to translate time to eternity. It will come, being the lesson God gives you through the teacher He has appointed to translate time to eternity. So now you can imagine why there's so much emphasis in the Course in Miracles to release the past, to let go of it, to let go, let go, let go, let go. And this starts to make more and more sense too. It's like, yeah, you don't want to think within limitation, because the outcome will be within that limitation. Now, if you want to experience something new, like it's something more adventurous than the limitations of human existence, then there's the opportunity. You let go of your past ideas, you let go of your concerns, your future concerns, you let go of who you think you are, what you think God is, all this, like you let go for a moment of all these concepts that you have running around and that you try to adhere to. And suddenly your consciousness is open, and God can give you what is yours already, like a total experience of totality. And that happens all at once. That's interesting. Like, it's so mind-blowing to hear that. It's like everything is going on all the time, and it's happening right now. Like everything at the same time. Everything is happening at the same time. You cannot imagine that. So it's like that is a full experience. There's nothing missing. That's why the idea of sacrifice becomes really silly, since the invitation is to come into a moment of totality where everything is total, completely happening at once, all like in its completion. And what could possibly be missing in that moment? Absolutely nothing. So that's why there cannot be any sacrifice to enter into that. So there's no need to fear it either. In other words, we're here in the middle of how to come into a holy moment, a holy instant. And that is your escape out of time and space. How can you experience a miracle? Well, this is what we practice. You give it away in order to receive one. You're opening your consciousness for the miracle. You become miracle-mindedness, as we say. Like becoming willing to receive something different than your own story, than your own limitations, than your own definitions. Are you willing to let go of that for just 1 minute? Is really always the question where it comes down to. Are you willing to let go of whatever seems to be so important to you in this moment in order to experience something else, to enter into a whole different field of consciousness? Now, this we practice today too. I think it's about time to start doing that. It's going to be lovely. So I'll open it up to our healing circle with all wonderful miracle healers here. That's great. So there were two things that I wanted to practice today. And we do this one-on-one to start with. And One of them has everything to do with perceiving each other in a different way, and I wrote it down. So, oh yeah. So this is, you help each other in just being honest in your expression about what it is that you are responding to. So this is the first moment we come together. You voice, like one by one, you voice what it actually is that you're responding to. And you can go beyond perception, of course. So it's like, then you already are in your withinness. But if you're still looking outside and thinking something's happening there, you can share that too. Just to become totally aware of how you are, say, entering into this. You meet with your brother. Now, what is it that you are responding to? Are you listening from within? Are you responding to what you see outside? And there's no right or wrong in it. It is just a matter of recognizing what it is that you're doing. So this is the first exercise.